Hi, welcome to Business 618, the International Experience course. I thought I would take a minute and introduce myself in person so that even though it's an online program, at least you know what I look like, and maybe if you see me sometimes on campus or in the city somewhere, we know each other and we can say hi. So Business 618, that's basically like a capstone course, a course that we scheduled to be taken at the very end of the program. And the idea here is that you will apply to practice all the knowledge that you have gained over the years that you've been taking the courses in the MSIB program. For some of you, it may be just 1 year, but for many of you, those who take the courses part-time, it will be probably in your second year. And so the idea behind this project or behind this course is that you will complete an international business consulting project with people from all around the world. So the idea is not the idea that the way it will work is that we have about 5,000 to 6,000 students participating in this project that we call XCulture. XCulture is like cross XCulture. Actually, we have the logo there on the whiteboard. So it is 10 years old, and the original idea for this project was that it would be almost like a lab or a practical assignment in addition to an international business course. So at that time, I was teaching international business, and I had a sort of a challenge, a task, a problem at my hands, where I would try to explain to the students in the classroom that, for example, doing business with people from Germany or Japan is different than doing business with people from the United States. And so the students would sort of look at me, but not fully understand, not fully comprehend what I'm trying to explain to them. And so I thought it might be a good idea if I put them in international teams with students from other countries so that they work with people across the time zones, across the time differences, across the cultural differences, institutional differences, and sort of experience in real life the challenges of working with people from other cultures. And so that's exactly what I did. And so the project grew and has gotten bigger and worked very well. And so now we have thousands of participants from up to 150 universities, all 6 continents represented in a given semester. And so that's exactly what we're trying to do this semester with you guys. Now, for you, it's a little different. So for most participants, at least, for the vast majority of them, the course is part, the project, the consulting project is part of a course that they're taking at a university. For you, this is basically the course. And so I guess this is good news for you because you can fully devote yourself to this consulting project. And it has 2 big components. One is the international experience. So you will work with people from 5, 6 different countries, but also the business component. So there are real companies with real challenges asking for help. And so you will literally be a consultant. So you will meet with the CEOs or managers of those companies in live webinars. You will solve a real life challenge that they need help with. In fact, sometimes the ideas proposed by the students are so good that the company implements them right away. So you may even see some of your recommendations play out in real life in a reasonably short future. The course itself will have 3 components. So there will be preparation, then there will be or theoretical training, let's call it this way. Then there will be the practical phase, and then there will be a reflection phase. And then for those of you who are really interested, there may be a 4th phase where we actually go and meet our teams face-to-face, which this year will be in Singapore. So for example, last year we had 2 MSIB students here at UNCG who took this course. And so both of them have graduated, so that was their last semester. And so they took first the experiential project course, the XCulture course. But then in the summer, so it's been now several months ago, they went with us to Canada. So last year, the symposium was in Canada. And so we had 150 students from 45 countries, if I remember correctly. And so we spent a week in Canada, in Calgary, meeting with a bunch of different companies and the city mayor and visiting some interesting touristy destinations, but more so businesses, companies, local entrepreneurs, political and community leaders, and things like that. And so they seem to have liked it very much. So they like both the course itself, the online collaboration project, but also then going to Canada as the next separate course. So again, if you do well, you will be invited to go to Singapore, and hopefully you will even be able to meet some of your team members and client in person. Now, in terms of the specific course structure, so for the first few weeks, we will be preparing for the project. So you will be placed on teams on March the 2nd this year. So we have basically all of February and a couple of weeks in January, so about 6 weeks to prepare. And so during this time, I will ask you to do a little preparation each week. So each week will be devoted to a different topic. And so 1 week we will be focusing on teamwork with people from other cultures. Another week we will look at the tools for online collaboration, and so on and so on and so on. And so your job will be to review some training materials, and then each time do a little, not even a quiz, but more like a take-home assignment. So a little that, not only tests your knowledge, but also helps you prepare. I don't expect any problems. I'm sure you all will do well on those assignments. They're not designed to be either time-consuming or demanding, but to prepare so that once you're placed on teams, you have both the knowledge of how to work with people from other cultures, but also how to solve international business problems. And you've taken some international business courses by now, but there will be some additional little training here as well. Then once you're placed on teams, it will be a whole different type of game. So it will be all about practical collaboration with people from other cultures. So you will communicate with them on a regular basis and basically try to solve the problem. So there will be about 10 companies to choose from. We will see how many we'll have. I always promise that I will limit it to 5, but we always end up with more. And so my goal actually is to have fewer companies this time so that we can go deeper. But in any case, there will be multiple companies, and you can choose, your team can choose anyone you like. And then once as a team you choose the company, 1 week you will decide on the best market for that new product. Next week you will develop the strategy, marketing strategy for that product. Maybe next week it will be the logistics, the shipping, and so on and so on. So week by week, there will be additional deliverables that you need to submit every week, like drafts, and then at the end you submit the final report. Plus we will have an introduction webinar with the company at the beginning of the project, and then probably another one later in the project where you have maybe some questions that you want to ask, or maybe you have some ideas that you would like to get feedback on. So you will have opportunities to talk to your clients. And obviously during the project, if you have questions, you can always send an email and communicate with them online. And then once it's all done, once your team submits the consulting projects, the reports, for you guys, you will also have to do a little reflection. So you will be asked to write a reflection paper where you will sort of describe your experiences, describe what you learned, but also prescribe in a sense. So some tips and suggestions for future members of global virtual teams and managers of global virtual teams. Now, the course has sort of multiple objectives here. I mean, the first one is obviously the academic objective. I mean, obviously, we want you, as I said, to take the knowledge that you have gained in the coursework you've taken here at UNCG and the training that you will do at the beginning of this course, and then apply it to practice and basically solve a real-life problem for a real company serving as a consultant. So international experience, business experience. But unlike most courses where when you finish, you just get a grade, here you will get several other things that are possibly much more valuable. One, at the end of the course, you will get a certificate, the XCulture Global Certificate. And again, it seems like just a piece of paper. In fact, I have a few samples here, but anyway, you will get the certificate, but we've heard many stories how those certificates played a crucial role when people were applying for promotions, for new jobs. Again, you are more mature, I know, you're not college students anymore, but still when you will be applying for promotions or maybe for completely new jobs, there will be probably many other candidates for those jobs. And most of them probably will not have an experience of working with people from like 5 different continents, solving problems for real companies. You will. So again, many of you already have a lot of experience, but this will be something unique, something that can differentiate you from the other applicants for those jobs. And so, as I said, I've received literally hundreds of emails from students over the years who say that, I applied for a job, there were 50 other candidates, I was not any different, I had a good diploma from a university, and I had, I don't know, some experience. And so I was in the interview, and the interviewer is kind of falling asleep because it's yet another similar candidate. But then I pull out my recommendation letter and certificate from XCulture, and I tell that I completed a project with people from literally all around the world. I worked across the time zones, the cultural differences. I had to communicate online. I had to communicate with my client, with my team. And then the interviewer wakes up and like, tell me more. That's interesting. I've never seen that. And so before you know it, you got the job. Second, as I said, you will meet people all around the world. And again, we've had cases when people become pretty close friends. We even have cases when people started dating each other. Again, that's obviously not academic and not something I either promote or encourage. But, at the very least, you may have some friends around the planet, and maybe next time you travel to Europe or Australia or Asia, maybe you'll have someone to hang out with. So why not? So, and then on top of that, if you like traveling, as I said, in July, we have this big symposium in Singapore. And so the students who participate in the project this semester will be invited to attend that seminar. So it's a week-long event. And so maybe you will be one of them. In the past, we were even able to secure some funding for the trip. So we'll see how things go this time. But so hopefully you will be among those students attending the webinar. So hopefully you'll get a lot of this out of this course. And as I said, in addition to the actual knowledge and experiences, you'll get also some things that are normally not included in regular courses. And yeah, hopefully you will like it. Now, it looks like we have half a dozen students only in this course this year, so which means I can literally afford to talk to each one of you when needed. So in the syllabus, you have my contacts. If you have any questions, any concerns, any recommendations, don't hesitate to contact me. As you know, I'm not only teaching this course, but I'm also the director for the MSIB program. So again, I'm extremely curious to hear from you about your experiences in the program in general. So if there are any problems in general in other courses, maybe with the registrar or anything like that, do let me know. So it is my goal to make sure that all of you graduate, all of you are happy, all of you go out in the world, use both the diploma and the knowledge to advance your career, but also hopefully you're happy enough to tell your friends to come and take, enroll in the program. So if there is anything I can do to make your life easier and more enjoyable in the MSIB program, let me know. All right, and if you're on campus, please do stop by. Again, I've met many of you already, but not all. And so if you by any chance can be at UNCG campus and can stop by, say hi, I would be very interested in meeting you in person. All right, well, let's see how things go. As I said, my goal is to make you happy. So if you see anything that is not right, or if you see anything that can be done better, do let me know. I'll listen to you. And yeah, let's hope it will be a good semester. All right, thank you so much.